So can I now invite Councillor Weir to introduce a petition relating to the proposed closure of Great Denham Golf Course, noting that you have 5 minutes, Councillor Weir, available for the introduction. Can Council please note that I've agreed that Councillor Weir can move his motion set out at agenda item number 18 as part of this debate. So Councillor Weir, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And as the last meeting was over 3 months ago, I'd just like to remind members that the petition submitted at that meeting asked the Council to ensure that policies in place to protect our urban gap and open urban space were upheld. Leslie, if we could go to slide 2, please. Okay. For those not familiar with the area,
could the speaker could Alison please just put it on the full mode so we can maybe get a chance to see your slides in better full view. So if we just play the presentation, that would help, Alison.
If you go to slideshow, Leslie, and then start at the beginning. Lovely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now slide 2, please. Great. I'll start again. For those not familiar with the area, this is the land in question. We have the Branson Way and the Great Ouse to the west, Biddenham to the north and Queen's Park to the east. And the arrows that are signified on the golf course and on the green area are the ones that denote the protected urban gap and the golf course. Next slide, please. The golf course opened in 1999, and Bidwell's informed me that the course would close on the 16th of October 2020, after just 21 years. Normally, to reach the age of 21, it's usually a celebratory event. A statement from Richard Wingfield, who is the beneficiary of the Old Ford End Trust, along with his family, made a statement in August that it was not seen as the best use of the land. Golf was not profitable or popular. This, however, despite an increase in membership of golf courses in England of over 20,000 since August 2019, and the fact that the club had 504 members and had just gone through its most profitable 2 years ever was not mentioned. For 20 months, Bidwell stated trustees not yet decided what to do with the golf course. Bidwell stated it was a failing business and operators wanted to wind it up. Despite, in October 2019, the request from the operators to extend for a further 5 years the lease at $75,000 per annum, which is above the market rate in our area. They stated on the 2nd of July 2020, the decision was made to close the course in 2018. Bidwells and their clients believe they can make more income from grazing the land with sheep and repurposing the buildings, which would give them more than one income stream. They have been advised that there are policies and conditions that are in place to protect the land and buildings. They said, it's a risk we are prepared to take. The fact that the trust and its agents say no plans for built development in the short term, but wouldn't discuss other options for running the golf course at an increased rental speaks volumes. Next slide, please, Leslie. Planners granted permission in 1995 for the original houses in what is now Great Denham, and was given as part of an S106 agreement. Contingent in that agreement was the provision of a golf course. The permission for the buildings, clubhouse and greenkeepers compound all had conditions attached to protect their future use. Richard Wingfield had already determined not to grant a lease extension to the then existing golf course in Biddenham, and that is now the site of a large-scale housing development after the golf course lying fallow for a number of years. Why should we believe that the same would not happen to the urban gap separating the two communities of Great Denham and Biddenham? The hiatus between 2018, when they took the decision to close the course, and the 2nd of July 2020, when they informed me, not the operators by the way, but me, was deliberate and intended to keep their plans secret. We should not believe that the same thing will not happen. Why? No engagement with the parish councils or community groups, despite letters stating that they had. and it was only last week when they entered when a proper engagement started, 2 weeks prior to closure. Next slide, please, Leslie. Nearly 3,000 signatures protesting at the loss of a successful and vibrant golf course attest to its popularity and reflects the local residents' anger and feeling of betrayal. Next slide, please, Leslie. What can and must we do? The conditions applied to the buildings, only to be used in connection with the land as an 18-hole golf course, must be upheld. The conditions on the clubhouse to enable the local planning authority to exercise control over future use of the building must be upheld. The local plan policy to keep a sporting facility, if not surplus to requirements, must be upheld. The local plan policies to maintain an urban gap and urban open space must be upheld. Bidwells make a proud corporate statement on their website. We care about the communities we live and work in. And I understand they're acting for clients to maximise their income and returns. Unfortunately, if we don't hold fast to the policies that are already in place to protect against this very type of action, our communities will be all the poorer. There was no meaningful engagement or advance notice given to Bedford Borough Council or the communities that this closure was going to happen. Thank you, and there ends my presentation.
Thank you, Councillor Weir. Do members have any questions? Can't see any hands raised or nothing on. Oh, Councillor McMurdo, yeah.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Councillor Weir, we have had a discussion, but I would just like this recorded in that I can take a view not only on the petition, but indeed the motion. This in no way would fetter any decision through the planning process. Is that correct?
I believe that to be true. And I did have people from planning and others from legal look over the wording of the motion, and they believe that it's correct and it's fine.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Are there any comments that members would like to make in relation to the petition? See anybody? No hands? Okay, so let's move on. Oh, sorry, who said that?
Sorry, is this in relation to the petition or the motion?
This is the petition first.
Fine,
The motion will come.
Nothing in that case, just checking. Thank you.
Councillor Valentine, did you have something?
I did, thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, I could just say a few words that as a Kempston councillor, I would like to support this petition. Although the golf course at Great Denham and its associated open space is of immediate interest to Kempston Rural Ward, and specifically Biddenham and Great Denham Parish Councils, I wish to point out that the amenity is of great interest to Kempston residents. This includes, for example, the Hillgrounds Road area and the King William Road area, and in particular residents of my own ward, Kempston West. Residents of the new housing to the west of Kempston frequently use this area, as well as those who play golf, who actually use the golf course. They use it for walking their dogs, taking their children to play, or participating in the park run. And for some, it is physically closer than Kempston's main open space, which at Addison Howard Park. It is more important than ever to preserve amenity areas, and the implied threat to this by closing the golf course without proper consultation is to be resisted. I support the petition and the accompanying motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Valentine. Any other comments? Okay. So, Councillor Weir, would you now like to move your motion on this matter, please?
Madam Speaker, yes, I would. Thank you. The motion is that this council notes the stated intent of the owners of Great Denham Golf Course, which acts as an urban gap between Biddenham and Great Denham, is to repurpose the site and buildings. This is contrary to paragraphs 97 of the National Policy Planning Framework, which states that existing open space, sports and recreational buildings and land, including playing fields, should not be built on unless An assessment has been undertaken which has clearly shown the open space, buildings or land to be surplus to requirement, or the loss resulting from the proposed development would be replaced by equivalent or better provision in terms of quantity and quality in a suitable location, or the development is for alternative sports and recreational provision and the benefits of which clearly outweighs the loss of the current or former use. Bedford Borough Local Plan Policy 99, Local Plan 2030, refers to the loss of existing sports and community facilities, and in the interest of time, they're more or less the same as paragraph 97 of NPPF. Policy AD 41, Urban Area Boundary. This plan seeks to prevent coalescence between nearby rural settlements, particularly within the urban area, through a local gaps policy. The objectives of this policy are to prevent the coalescence of settlements, to maintain the predominantly open and undeveloped character of the gap, and to protect the separate character and identity of settlements, including their setting. Policy AD 43, Urban Open Spaces and Gaps. Open areas which have particular importance in maintaining the function, character and identity of the urban area are identified on the policies map as urban open space, and these include buffers between different land uses, green breaks in otherwise built-up area, etc. There are a few more elements to that, but I won't go through them all. Furthermore, the Golf Clubhouse Planning Permission condition states the premises shall only be used as a clubhouse in connection with the use of the adjoining land as a golf course and not for any other purpose. The reason for this condition is to enable the local planning authority to exercise control over future use of the building. The Greenkeepers Compound Planning Permission on the 27th of November Reserve Matters application conditioned this permission to say that the development hereby permitted shall only be used in connection with the use of an adjoining golf course. Furthermore, that in the case of Great Denham Golf Course site, none of the above conditions will have been met if the course is closed. The landowner and their agent have made a unilateral decision to close the course and have failed to engage with the community. They took these decisions in 2018, but only informed the community on the 2nd of July 2020. That was through me. The membership of 504 and the 30,000 rounds of golf per annum prior to threat of closure confirms that the facility is not surplus. That to date, nearly 3,000 people have signed a petition to save Great Denham Golf Course from being repurposed for development and put the urban gap and open green space at risk. I would ask that the Council resolves to uphold the policies and planning conditions outlined in paragraph 97 of the National Policy Planning Framework, Policy 99 of the Bedford Local Plan 2030, Policy AD 41 of the Urban Area Boundary, and Policy AD 43 of the Urban Open Spaces and Gaps, Condition 8 relating to the Golf Clubhouse, and Condition 7 relating to the Greenkeepers Maintenance Building. And I also further ask the Council to resolve to do all in its power to ensure that the Great Denham Golf Course site is maintained as an urban open space and protected urban gap. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Weir. Is the motion seconded?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you, Councillor Coombs.